Suleiman I was born on November 6, 1494 in Trabzon. He was the only son of Sultan Selim I and Aisha Hafsa Sultan. At the age of 26, he became the 10th Sultan of the Ottoman Empire in 1520, and since there were no other heir, he faced no rivalries. He is known as Kanuni, the lawgiver in his homeland, but for Europeans, he has always been Suleiman the Magnificent. Sultan Suleiman was skilled in many languages which include Ottoman Turkish, Arabic, Serbian, Chagatai Turkish, Farsi, and Urdu. He was also very educated and had studied theology, literature, science, history, and warcraft. Within the empire, Suleiman was responsible for transforming the army and the judicial system. Suleiman himself was a poet and accomplished goldsmith. Sultan Suleiman had two known consorts, Hürrem and Mahidevran, and they had borne him 6 sons, 4 of whom survived past the 1550s. They were Mustafa, Selim, Bayezid, and Jahangir. Sultan Suleiman had only one daughter from Hürrem, Nerima Sultan, whom the Sultan loved very much. Among his 2 consorts, Hürrem was the only one who became Sultan's legal wife. This broke the tradition, as it was not common for any sultan to marry a slave. During the course of his substantial extension of the Ottoman Empire, he captured Belgrade in 1521 and Rhodes in 1522, forcing the Knights of St. John to leave for Malta. He also defeated and killed King Louis of Hungary at Mohacs in 1526, taking Buda in 1529. However, he was unsuccessful in besieging Vienna in September and October of that year. By 1562, Transylvania also fell into his possession. His domain extended far to the eastward and into Egypt and Persia, while his fleet was master of the Red Sea, including Yemen and Aden, and virtually the whole of the Mediterranean under the command of its fearsome Admiral Barbarossa, waging war on the coasts of North Africa, Italy and Dalmatia. Suleiman died on September 6, 1566 during the war with Hungary outside Szigedvár in Hungary. The war was led by his Grand Vizier Sokollu Mehmed Pasha, who was successful in besieging Vienna. During the siege, the Austrian army didn't come to help the Hungarians, so they had to defend their castle heroically but desperately. After Suleiman's death, he was taken back to Istanbul and was buried in the largest of Sinan's mausoleums situated within the complex of the Süleymaniye Mosque. Suleiman the Magnificent ruled the Ottoman Empire for 46 years between 1520 to 1566 and doubled his territory. This was a rising period for the capital Istanbul, as it was for the whole empire. Many valuable buildings were constructed during this period which survived until the present day with no or little damage thanks to the great architect Sinan. The city was restored with a better plan, including new dams, aqueducts and fountains, theological schools, madrasas, caravanserai, Turkish baths, botanical gardens and bridges. The port of Golden Horn, of which the surveillance was made from Galata Tower, became one of the busiest ports. Some of the important monuments and mosques built during this period are Süleymaniye Mosque and annexes, Shehzadi Mosque and establishments, Sultan Selim Mosque and establishments, Jahangir Mosque, Nerima Sultan mosques on both sides of the city dedicated to his daughter, and Haysaki establishments and baths built on behalf of Hürrem Sultan, the only loved wife of the Sultan. Istanbul had a detailed city plan for reconstruction during this time. Migration was prohibited. Building houses around the city wall was prohibited. Coffee houses were introduced to Istanbul during this period. He was succeeded by his son Selim II.